In this video we are playing Find the Tetos. Thank you so much for choosing my video. If you do find it helpful, if you can leave it a like, drop me a comment and of course hit that subscribe button to help support my channel. So this is going to be a mega long video, it's nearly 2 hours long, so I will split it into part 1 and part 2. So in my video descriptions there will be an order list of the location with the characters and some timestamps. If the location isn't listed, that will be in the other part. So here we go for part 1. So starting off in spawn, and we find our first one of Lazy on the chair there. There are some troll ones, so you will find sort of some cardboard cutout style ones around the map. Just to fool you, there will be a real one and then some kind of fake ones. If you are a fan of Find the Miku, this will definitely be a game you want to try. So there is the actual proper one of like the cutout. So we also have tetubby, which is obviously the gubby Teto. So I love that. I love the fact they're moving, which brings a bit of life to that corner of the map. What I will say is I did kind of judge a book by its cover with the initial feel of the map when I came in here. Trust me, it gets better. This game has really actually been well thought out. It's really challenging to try and find the biomes. So yes, absolutely give this one a try if you are a fan of scavenger hunts or the Vocaloids. I like the fact that for each biome it does tell you how many you found in each area. The index needs maybe some hints because I'm not sure how people are going to find them. So this was actually really complicated when I was playing. There was actually an update halfway through me recording. As you can imagine, this is a very long bit of gameplay I've had to try and do. So the index actually just had sort of question marks and numbers, so it was really difficult to know sort of which Teto I'd found and which one I hadn't. So I think they upgraded that in the index, but the only thing they've done is, yes, they've sorted out the biomes now, they have improved the index, but the secret biomes are now question marks, so you don't actually know the biome that you need to get to. So I do think they need to put the names back in. Obviously, I will show you all of the biomes, so you'll just have to reference the ones that you don't have or go to the biome that you're yet to visit. So for this last one, this is sort of a bit of a hidden one in spawn. So if you go to the time capsule area, you will see that there is a trampoline. This will take you through to the parkour area. I am doing these later in the video, but if you go back through the door, you actually fall down onto Prophecy Teto. And then a couple have been added in the new update. So we have Territory, nice and easy sort of by the fan art board. And then we have Birdbrain right here. A lot of these characters I do actually recognise from Find the Mikus, so it's nice to see them again in a game of their own. Moving around now to Hot. And for me, I don't know, some of these maps just feel like there's only 4 here. Like, you've built such a lovely map and they're quite extensive really. Fill them out a bit more. So of course we have Melting. And a lot of these characters are sort of out in the open. There's not really much in terms of sort of teleports or, you know, kind of the codes or puzzles. The biggest things for me that I found difficult was actually trying to find the biomes. They were so hidden. It was unbelievable. And there is braveto. HOTLANDS, it's hot. See, there's the one that we need. Technically, I would have thought that would have been the PPP, given it was on the balcony of that building, but this is actually the fourth one we need for the hot area. So this is what I mean when they're like out in the open, but you've just got to figure out how to get there. And there is no sprint. I don't know why that one so reminds me of sort of Harry Potter. I don't know. Into PPP. See, I don't know why it's a P, because that would be an F, because it would be the Teto production facility. So I don't know why they've called it a facility. Again, this is a very big area. So the yellow door doesn't actually do anything, so it's only the red and the blue. So the red area is the containment sector. And then the beauty about this game is it's sort of hidden in plain sight. So what you actually need to do is click on objects. So if you click on the window, it tells you you need to find something to smash it. That looks like that machine is just giving it an endless wedgie. I don't know why. An unforgiving punishment, that really would. And we have nervous. And then we have the contraption number 3, which is probably like an eternal Christmas snow globe. I don't think that would be a punishment. Although I think, you know, psychologically, if I had to listen to Christmas music every day, that would probably do my bun in quite a bit. But you see, there's like lovely places to put veiled entrances into boxes, but that's not really been utilised. Hot tour. I wonder if they just got bored and thought, what are we going to put on this board? Oh, right, yeah, we'll do that. See, again, you've got some lovely doors. You could do veiled entrances through to kind of secret rooms. And then we got to this, and instantly I thought Minesweeper, which is exactly what this is. I don't know if this was bugged for me, so just fast forwarding, I actually placed flags and I thought I'm going to hit the bomb at some point. I think this may have been glitching. I know how Minesweeper works. Like, I was a child where this was like the only game that was available on a computer, like PCs, floppy disks. I am of that generation. So this wasn't working for me. I actually put a flag everywhere and just got 0 bombs. So I don't know what was going on with that or if something has happened. So I actually came back and the door was open. So I don't know if I've actually solved it or what. I don't know. And as you can see, the door is open now. So I don't know if you have to play Minesweeper or if they've just opened the door. I have no idea. But you need to click on the hammer in order to collect it. There is a bit of a big conversation about it. The beauty about this as well with this game is once you've got something in your inventory, it stays. So I absolutely love that because it's really frustrating if I had to go back and collect it all over again. So that's a really lovely touch for the users. See, again, you've got like teleport opportunities by using laptops. But like as I said, I'm suggesting these things, but this game has literally kept me occupied for hours to try and complete this. So I've really enjoyed this game as much as I've probably enjoyed finding the Mikus. But now we have the hammer, we can smash the glass. And then we've got the tunnel through to here, and we've got a Teto in the microwave. No, that's so naughty. The threat of the door shutting at any moment. One breeze and that's it, your history. But we do have a lovely secret tunnel behind the poster. This is what I really love. It's sort of there in plain sight but challenging. And then we sort of have Teto's office in Baldi Basic style. I love this. They have really developed this map nicely and so well and so thoughtfully. This is why I said don't judge a book by a cover sort of when you first come into the map. It's so much better than Spawn. Even this kind of facility here, you know, it's got a lovely feeling. It does feel like an actual factory. So that is the red area and now we're in the blue area, and again it's a nice factory feel. It feels like a production unit of these Tetos. Again, a bit of interaction with the machinery maybe, so you have them there so you could click on one of the machines or the machine in the right order and get like a sparkly one, and that's the one that you've got to collect, or collect and then take somewhere. So maybe the inclusion of some little quests might be nice. They have done like sort of side quests when we get to kind of sinking in the shallows, which I'll show you when we get there. See, again, I love that little touch. That board does actually read out different numbers, which is nice. See, again, you could actually scan yourself and then it comes up as like a rejected Teto. You go into the bin. Again, teleporting into one of those glass cases might be an option. So I would just like to point out, can you see a ramp there? No. No, there is not a ramp there. I will show you why that's important on that level in a second. I didn't quite know what this was. I didn't know if they were supposed to be morphs or not. Obviously we do get morphto there. So this one up here, so I could see obviously you need to kind of climb up that front bit. So let's go back and do that rainbow hall. So I sort of have no idea what I was doing. I was just trying to find and navigate a path. The different blocks kept coming up, like now I'm orange flavoured, I'm electrified, I'm evil, I'm lemon. So I wasn't quite sure, but this just kind of find a way. It said about tools, so I'm not sure a baguette would be classed as a tool, to be honest. But there is definitely a path through, so you've just got to try and navigate yourself down. So close to the end. And there we go, we have Teto Edison. So obviously for the kind of the update between me videoing and editing, I did come back because I knew there was a Teto here that I had to find. As I said, some of this was more challenging to try and find how to get to the Teto rather than the actual game itself. And I would understand if there was sort of like a lever or a button, but this ramp and truss just magically appeared. Now I don't know what I've hit, what I've collected. I don't know if it's just now there because it was impossible to get to. I have no idea. So if it's not there, I'm really sorry. I don't have a clue. But we did get Teto Prime. But again, you know, if you would have put like a lever or a button, then that would have made that a bit more obvious to collect. Into our next world of sinking. I have a tetubby following me. So you will find them down in sinking. The poor things are going to drown. So as I said, there you can see me figuring out, right, I need to go across the lily pads and drop down onto that one. So we do have sealto. That one does move around. There's also a ball that appeared at one point, but it wasn't actually a Teto. It's just something you can kick around. I don't know where the person got it from, but it appeared in Sinking Town anyway. Look, they're desperately trying to get out, but I can't help them. Again, some lovely places behind the kind of seaweed that they could have hidden some more characters, but obviously somewhere they could consider for an update. Those ones get everywhere. They're down here as well. I would also just like to point out the fact that you saw me try to collect that one. It's there. I have the evidence on video. So again, that one was bugged for me. I can't tell you how long that I searched for the last medium one that was missing, and it was that one. That was so infuriating. Because there was already fake ones that I'd found, I thought, oh, okay, it's just a fake character I don't need to worry about. So again, you've got a lovely little area here behind the seaweed that one could have really been hidden behind because it's so out of view. Look, what a lovely little hiding place that's not been utilised. It's such a shame. I naturally start looking for places like that. Random flopper that gives you money but you can't collect the money. Again, could have been something you click on, maybe get enough money, or you just click it and out pops a flopper related Teto. I don't know if there is one. I'm sure AI can design one. So you just get a load of money out of it. And if you are a fan of Teto and you haven't played Find the Miku, you need to, because I have my own Teto in it now from the last update. So you need to go and find Judgment TV Teto. There is a reason why it was Teto, because obviously here in the UK, Teto, we would automatically say Teto rather than Teto. And I don't know anything about these Vocaloids and Miku and Tetos at all. The only thing I'm sort of not a fan of is sort of the towers. I would have potentially have wanted either like the stone or something that was a bit more sort of in keeping with the kind of underwater, something maybe a bit more natural. So if you could climb a specific bit of seaweed, for example. But dropping down, we do get the shark one. Again, veiled entrance into the chimney. This is what I kind of think of when I start thinking of like the scavenger hunt stuff. So you can't actually climb the flower, I don't think, from this side. I have found how to get over there, so just bear with me a minute with that one. There is a Teto that does spawn at different locations around the map. I found it on Time Capsule, but it does also appear on top of that particular tower we've just been on. I love the fact that it's a badge game. They thought about that, so I'm taking something away from the game as well. have the Teto fox. Don't know how I missed that one on the walk past. Again, these are some of the ones that I've seen from Find the Mickey. So that was the one that you had to go and dig up in the garden. And we have the frog. And I do, even though they're using sort of similar characters, I actually do applaud them that it feels so different from Find the Mikus, which is really nice, because what you wouldn't want is sort of another carbon copy of the same game. I mean, you know, Judgment TV Teto would fit in really nice. You know, they've created it already. So this is how you go ahead to get the one on the flower. So you actually come from the side and then you should be able to jump onto the petal, and that is basilto. And then just a massive thank you again. Obviously I did have some people come on and comment. I love how people say the TV of judgment. It just made me laugh. I get that quite often. So after hours of trying to find this one, thank you so much to Bell Basket. They actually took me down here and showed me the one that I tried to collect in the first place. I'm like, how to make myself seem such a noob. But you saw me on video try and collect that one, so I think it must have been bugged when I first tried. But obviously, massive thank you to Bell Basket Bassie. Obviously, you're famous now again in this video because you were in Find the Miku as well. So from Sinking Town, we can get to the next couple of areas. So this is Shallows. And again, I love that it now sort of feels like we're in a bit of a darker area of water. It has a different feel to Sinking Town. I would desperately appreciate a sprint. Some of these areas are extremely large. So obviously having a sprint would be ideal. I did try and drink the cola, but it didn't work. So this is one of the side quests, and I absolutely love this. It's sort of ingeniously kind of hidden in this area. So we have these lovely jumps which take you on a particular course. And then we find this Teto, and then the ones with the exclamation point, you have to talk to them. So just clicking on the character. And it says here the quest, you have to bounce 11 times. Not more, not less, 11 times. So there is a particular path. So just be careful when you're landing not to hit some of the jump pads, because you will actually jump up and down, which will then add one onto your counter, like so. So after failing that one miserably, let's go down the proper path. And this will give you the exact 11 bounces. So where there's two, make sure you go on the one that I'm going on. And round we go. You did it! And we have persevereto. I know that's perseverance, but that's so hard to say. Again, so you've got kind of lovely little tucked areas out of sight behind the seaweed. And we have marito. And I do love the fact that they have put checkpoints in. So certain areas around the shallows, so if you fall off the bridge, if you fall off here, you know, you do go to certain checkpoints, which is really considerate of the user. I do appreciate that so much. I'd be infuriated to have to go back from spawn all the time. So as you can see, we just go back to the checkpoint. It does do that random running bug for me, but obviously it doesn't affect you. So following the map round, and again we've got this lovely jump path. So remember that location right there, right by the hammer one. We need to come back there. Oh my god, I can't, like, when they said where it was, I was just flabbergasted. But that is a link to another biome, if you would believe it. But this is why I say the sprint would really be appreciated, just because some of these areas are huge. So again, there's the ones with kind of multiple versions of the same character, but only the one will work. And don't fall for this. Don't. I was so curious. I was like, is that a jump pad to a secret area? No, it's a jump pad to your death. So, you know, curiosity definitely killed the cat with that one. You can tell I'm sort of so used to these complex scavenger hunts that I would just think, oh, there's a jump pad, let's jump on it. So again, remember that. That is the point we are going to come back to in a moment. And this was sort of why the game was so complex for me, is because I didn't know what Tetos I was missing. I just had to go and like kind of think, oh, there's one upside down. Oh, that's Bob. You know, it was so hard to figure out the characters. And then we've got another jump path round, and this is going to take us to that bridge. They look like they're in the PJs. So some of the biomes are actually quite obvious because we have a door. So going through the door here, and this is the white space. So this is one of the question mark areas. But again, there's just one. There's nothing else. I do really like the areas. I like how kind of pixelated that area was. But that's it, just the one there. And again, really appreciate coming back to the shallows rather than out to spawn. Again, that's something that they have thought of. Love the placement of river because it is slightly harder to see from different angles. Some of these badges, I don't know if you've seen that, like beware the Teto or the pair that talks to Tetos or whatever it was in the corner. It didn't say river Teto, it was something completely random. Love the placement of these two, kind of off the path. Love those. Again, I like the fact it's hidden but not hidden. Thank you so much to Ant. Literally, they were a lifesaver. I'm pretty certain they were one of the devs, but they were the one that told me about the biome. So there is no hint how to get to these biomes at all. So I was literally at that person's mercy for their help, and they were an absolute diamond. Thank you so much. Like, I can't tell you how grateful I am to help me finishing the video. So obviously we were looking to interact with a tree, but one that was not off the path. And so this is the point that I said that was important. And here is the tree. So this is the only one that can be clicked. So it's not even like it comes up with a message as you approach it. You have to click it. And then we can proceed. And this then takes us to home. And this is really dark. I can't tell you how dark this location is. It's so hard to see. Good luck following me. But in the first door is where we get sad. And again, like, look at the quality of the map. I love it. Like, the time that they've spent to develop this game, like, it's so much better than Spawn. This game literally got better the more that I played it. It's so hard to see in here though. It is super dark. It's only the shred of light from the red eerie windows. I'm not quite sure what sort of scenery and what's actually a Teto, but there is actually a lovely hidden one on the bed, so don't miss that one in this room. And that's right, there is an upstairs and a downstairs. So we've got to go downstairs now as well. I'd be one of those people, like, in the dark that would be trying to be quiet when everyone was asleep, but like making a tremendous amount of noise because I was bumping into everything, so I can't see. I don't know what sort of boxes and scenery and what's not. So the red doors there don't do anything. I did think they might, but it's just kind of the white doors. So we just have the one more to find in this area. Again, really sort of underutilized. There's only 3 in home, and it's quite a big area of a map. But there we go, we have found home Teto. But don't go anywhere yet, because again, this is a biome within a biome, so we have to get to run from here as well. This is what I mean when I say, like, there is no hint about how to get to these biomes. I was so fortunate that Ant was online and they were actually super helpful. And here we go. See, it's the click. You've got to click on this stuff. It doesn't interact when you go up to it. So again, I just asked, is the survey door to the run biome, which they said it was. And again, this is where the code for this door is hidden in plain sight. I actually really love it. I went there and I thought, oh, that's a bit odd. They did say the code is in the room next to it with the red doors. They even told me where to find the code, bless them. And look at the clocks. We have 1, then we have 4, and then we have 3. So it's there in plain sight if you actually look at it. It's so clever. So first digit 1, second digit 4, third digit 3. I don't know what you got from those numbers. And then we come into this horrible maze and I have no idea what the sort of objective is. It just says don't stop running. So just don't stop running. So there is a kind of creature that will follow you and sort of kill you. But literally don't stop running. I don't know if you could just run round in a circle or if it is important that you run round anywhere of the maze. I have no idea what I'm doing at this point, but it kills you, but you find heck marito, so I don't know. But obviously just thanking Ant. I couldn't find that biome for toffee. Into our next biome of cold. So we have Teto cola. See again, here's one that you have to talk to. So this one's not actually a character, but it's telling you to find the key to the door there. I love how it just says investigate. I will show you the item is marked ice key, so that is in the video description as well. You find it in time capsule area, just FYI. See again, cold is reasonably small, but only two people in here. Like, I just think you could fill it out a bit more. Surely there's some more cold ones. But we will go ahead and do the unfinished. So that is the key. It sort of looks a little bit like a mushroom. And you need to bring it back here. And then clicking on the door, it comes up saying you opened the ice door. And then we come into another massive biome. And again, there's only 2 in here. But the difference with this area is that you've got these random characters that do absolutely nothing apart from talk to you. So again, it's a little bit misleading with some of them. But we do have Mesmerize the Teto. See, random, wiggly, looks like a tapeworm. You can click and talk to them if you want to. But this is why I say the sprint would really be appreciated. And not only that, we've got this horrible fog to contend with as well. So again, another random. To me, that one should be one because it's got her head on it. That is such a troll one. That does look like Teto. And the thing is, when I'm playing, all I had was question marks, so I don't even know like the shadow outline of the character that I'm supposed to be finding. But alas, this is the actual one that we needed to find, which is Monica. And I just want to take you here to see if you have the same opinion as me. They've been so cheeky, these developers, I swear. So you come here and you can see this big black door and it's got happy comments over the characters. So I was like, oh, this must be the door to happy place. No, this is just a complete troll, like don't even bother with this. I was convinced I had to find a key or something to do with happy place through here. We do go to the happy place, but it's through the bottom layer. So again, thank you so much to Ant. I couldn't find the bottom layer. I didn't even think to do this, to be fair. You can see how much I had to run to find this place. It's not obvious, but it's obvious when you go through. You actually just have to walk through this patch of snow and then you're in the bottom layer. Oh, I wouldn't think. I would have thought that was a plain empty wall. Somehow we've got a gubby in here. I don't know how they've managed to get in here. Has a player sneaked it in? And like, again, this area is massive. It is probably one of the biggest areas of the map and there's only a couple of Tetos in here. I can't believe the level of detail, the map that they've created and then sort of not filled it out. That's crazy. But it's where a sprint would be kindly appreciated. It's so big. This is where perseverance should be. But I love it. I mean, it does feel like, you know, a conflict zone, a war zone. I'm assuming I'm getting kind of Call of Duty World War II vibes from this. The only random bit down here is that we've got the Christmas tree, which we're going to go and get in a second. It doesn't feel very Christmassy in here. It feels quite dank and sort of somewhere like desolate where you wouldn't want to be. That's about the only bit of cheer. That's sort of like a mayor going, you know what? Let's cheer the spirits of the community and we'll shove a Christmas tree up. Again, you've got these massive Tetos around as well, and yet they're not one themselves. Like, even if you did find the Miku, they still had that big one. So I have fast forwarded. As I said, this area is massive. There is so much running to do here, and obviously no sprint doesn't help. It's insane how big this area is, and there's so many nice hidey holes to put characters and there's just nothing. So you can have jump offs from the bridge onto those and have them up there. It was such a big area to try and find out where these characters were. This is why sort of zoomed out view will be your friend, because at least you can kind of get a view. It just went on and on and on. I was sort of like, am I ever going to get to the end of this place? I think from this game I must have had about 5 hours of video gameplay to edit down. Like, I'm not even joking, I spent a very, very long time on this game. And it's not even like the path is blocked. You can go into all these little side areas and have a look. And then it just continued. And then I was so pleased to see actually a character. But I'm like, do I run and get that one now and then get stuck and then I have to run all the way around again? So I'll run up and see if there's anything up here first. And mind you, there's only what, like four here? So imagine how long at this running speed that section of that video would have been. And then it dawned on me, I've got yet more running. This area is crazy. But that is Titan. See again, that says Titan, yet the badge comes up Guardian. So again, we're going to fast forward. Can you imagine how many hours you'd be watching just this particular section? Could you imagine doing this with a VR headset that you actually had to run it? I'd be so mad. I know you can sort of VR headset World of Warcraft and stuff, can't you? Oh my god, I'd be so annoyed. I'd just be like collapsed in a heap by the time that I'd finish these Tetos. That's got to be sort of the next evolution of Roblox, isn't it? To sort of actually do the games. It just never ends. It still got to the point where I just didn't even bother looking around sort of elements of the map. I was pretty certain I was going to have to do yet more running. And up again. And then up again. So for this, you might be better off sort of starting on the left because the right hand thrust does stop halfway up. There you go, so it stops there. And again, just a massive truss. This is dedication and perseverance, I tell you. And then really unhelpfully, they put a brick right at the top. I was like, no, how am I going to get up there? So dropped off, tried to get the ladder a little bit further round, fell down even further. And then I thought, this has got to be it. It's got to let me up. No. So best hint is to actually put yourself in first player view and sort of just try and wiggle past that brick. What a nightmare. I was like, please don't. I know I've got to climb a bit further. Don't do this now. But eventually managed to kind of turn my view and get up. I was like, this has got to be the last one. This has got to be the last location. Ta-da! Yes, we've made it to the end. And there you have the two together. All of that location. And they put two at the very top. Unbelievable. You do have a jump pad back, or you can reset if you want. So that's flung me into the autumn festival. So Happy Place is actually another biome within a biome. And again, a massive thanks to Ant. They said that it was obvious but not obvious in this area, and don't climb. So obviously it was going to be on the ground floor somewhere. The only thing that was sort of out of place was the billboard. Again, doesn't interact when you run up to it. You've got to actually touch it to get teleported. And this is Happy Place. So they have the happy comments over them. So as you can see, it's literally got nothing to do with that door. Like, you have to find the billboard to get here. And again, this is where you've got like the kind of original character and then the kind of fake ones, just to throw you off a bit. So you need to find the house with the footsteps in front of it, and this again is a lovely little teleport through, and this is the third one. And then look at the key on the wall, so click on that. That needs to go into your inventory. That is for Basil's Den. Again, I absolutely love that they've hidden that, and then see how the hands retracted once you collected the key. It's lovely. I love that scripting. So that is the end of part 1 to this video. Part 2 will be out tomorrow. And there we have it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you for part 2 tomorrow.